Hey, good morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. So I have a little exercise for you to do because, a lot of times we watch movies, we watch videos, we read books, and we think to ourselves, yeah, that's a cool thing, or that's a neat idea, or, well, I guess I would do this, or, things like that, right? My wife and I watch a fair amount of DVDs, and I really can't relate to the main character most of the time, because within the first 5 minutes when they set up the movie, I would have already done something completely different. I wouldn't be in the movie. I wouldn't be in that situation. And so this will be a little mental exercise that I hope will help you. Actually, I hope it never helps you, and you'll find out why in a minute. But to make the best use of it, get out a piece of paper, get a pen, pencil, whatever, and prepare to write things. And so here it is. Right now, you are watching this on a computer, a laptop, a phone, whatever. And you are someplace, and it is sometime. And the weather outside is frightful. The weather outside is what the weather is. Right here it's fixing to get hot. But you are where you are watching this, and then as that's happening, screen goes dark, lights go out, traffic noise, if you can hear it, stops. Maybe planes start falling out of the sky if there's planes over you. Yes, an EMP thing has happened, whether it was a coronal mass ejection that just fried your part of the world, or bad guys popped off an EMP device, whether they were bad guys or good bad guys. That movie Jericho, right? That TV show. But EMP happens. Everything goes dark. What are you going to do? Some places, I worked in a place that was in a basement. Had battery-powered electrical lights down there if there was an emergency. I wonder if they would work in an EMP. Don't know. I do know I had a mini mag light in my bottom right drawer of my desk, along with some other supplies. So even if it went dark, bam, I could grab that. I've learned living here off-grid that headlamps are better. So, what are you going to do? First of all, just picture, and have you read that book, 1 Second After? That's a pretty good book. Not a bad idea to go back and read it and make notes. But see, it's a multi-step process. First, you have to become aware of something. You have to start thinking about something. You have to consider something. Then you start making plans, if you will. You need to write those plans down, because you're going to have more than 3 or 4 things on your list, right? And then don't just take that list and file it away at the corner of your desk somewhere. You actually have to start checking things off and making sure you're squared away. And then once you do that, once you go through the whole drill, the whole exercise, and you've made your list, and then you've checked off all the items on your list, you've done what you needed to do, then you can just totally not worry about it. You don't even have to think about it. It's like, yeah, if EMP happens, I guess I'll do this. So think about that, because my understanding of an EMP event, and this is spurred by a headline I saw on Drudge today. I couldn't get the article open on my phone. That Iran, we've intercepted something that says Iran is considering an EMP attack on the U.S. I think they've been doing that for a while. And I think we've known that, and you've known that if you've looked in the news. Nothing works. And so if you're at work right now, your car's not working, nobody else's car's working, how are you getting home? How are your wife and kids getting home? Do they know to go home? Do they know how to get home? Once you get there, then what? Your air conditioner's not working. Sorry if you live in Phoenix. What's your plans? And think about shelter, think about water, think about medicine, think about transport. How are you getting where you're going? Some things you may want to throw into your plans. Bicycle. When I worked at the Pentagon, I used to drive in and out of work, and it took me forever, 40 minutes or something to get to work, but it was only as the crow flew, I can't remember now, 12 or 17 miles. I worked it out once. and it was probably twice that driving, but it took forever, like 40 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half if you left at the wrong time to get from where I lived to the Pentagon. And so I knew if something bad happened in that area, I'd be kind of up a creek. And I had a pickup and I had an Isuzu Trooper. And my first thought was I'll just carry a bike around, just keep it on a rack on the back of my vehicle, and then I'll have a bicycle to get home if I have to. Well, we used different cars on different days, and you know that just wouldn't work out. So I got a beater bike and took it to the Pentagon and chained it to the bike rack. Bam, left it there. Left it there when I left. So, you know, but I had a bike ready to go if I needed one. And then I had plans that I'll ride the bike as far as I can. I know which way I want to go, and if I can't, I'll get off. I'd have my running shoes. I always had gym stuff at work. Put on my runner and run home. You know, no big deal. But I thought it through. So what's your plan? When we had kids in high school and middle school, my wife and I schooled them and taught them and drove them and said, all right, you will meet right here. You will wait for your brother and sister and you'll hang out here for an hour. And it was off the high school track in a little patch of woods near a road. And if nobody comes in an hour, then start walking home, stay together. You know, and then we knew people on the road along the way to home where if they needed help, they could go in. But, you know, we thought about those kinds of things, something you may want to consider. Do you have enough stuff where you are right now to get to where you want to go on foot or not in a car? You know, maybe you have a horse tied up outside. I don't know. But the drill today is right now, wherever you're at, EMP just happened. What do you do? And how do you do it? And how do you take care of the family? Once you figure out your first 24 hours and start taking action on that, start thinking about your next 3 weeks. All right, hey, it can be helpful. I hope it's helpful for you, but I hope you never have to use it. That's why I said, you know. All right, hey, I'll see you out there.